The skies over Earth were no longer blue, they were black. Not because of nightfall, because of the shadows of massive alien ships that floated above every major city. From New York to Tokyo, from London to Karachi, the skies were filled with the metal beasts of the Zarn Dominion. These ships didn't attack? Not yet. Instead, they broadcast all across Earth's networks. Hijacked screens showed the face of the alien commander, tall, thin, with glowing red eyes and a long skull covered in golden armor. He had no name, only a title, the Laughing Fang. And laugh he did. Humans, he said with a smirk. You still use bullets, wheels, and gravity-bound toys. You are insects who think they are dragons? The feed showed Earth's military forces lining up tanks, jets, missiles. The Fang laughed again. We gave you 12 hours to surrender. You used that time to gather your ... toys. The alien camera zoomed in on a human tank, then cut to a soldier loading a rocket launcher. Then, side by side, it showed a Zarn attack. Beast, a flying serpent with plasma teeth, and a human attack helicopter. The comparisons were brutal. You bring knives to a planet burn? He said. It won't kill you? We'll simply race you. For sport? That confused everyone. Race. In a small garage outside the city, Jet Cross wiped oil from his hands. He was under an old rusted car, fixing a fuel injector that should have been replaced 10 years ago. He wasn't watching the news. Didn't care until the ground shook. He rolled out from under the car and stood up, staring at the sky. Overhead, one of the alien ships was moving slow, like a whale in orbit. Its engines glowed red. Then came the strange humming sound, like 1,000 voices whispering through metal. His younger brother Milo ran in from the street. Jet, you see the live stream?
Yes.
They're showing everything. They're laughing at Earth, man. Jet didn't answer. He just looked up. He wasn't afraid. He was angry. 0.12 hours later, the alien race began. Not with guns, but with arrogance. The Zarn built a track in the sky, in the sky. With their anti-gravity tech, they placed glowing pylons, energy loops, and deadly traps across Earth's atmosphere. Then they sent a message. Humans may send their fastest to race against us. If you win, we retreat. If we win, we take your planet. The world was confused. Was it a joke? The Zarn didn't wait. They selected Earth's top pilots by force-grabbing them with tractor beams from jets, racing schools, and stunt shows. One of them was a Formula Zero champion from Dubai. Another, a drone racer from Tokyo. One by one, they were dropped into alien pods, borrowed racers inside enemy crafts, forced to compete for humanity's future. They all lost. One by one, the Zarn pilots beat them in mid-air races, sometimes crashing the humans into mountains or letting them fall into the ocean. Every race was streamed live, every loss made. The aliens laugh harder. Humanity begins to break governments. We're helpless. Missiles couldn't lock onto the alien ships. Nuclear weapons were useless. The ships hovered too high, too fast. The alien tech warped reality. Itself, Earth's best pilots were being toyed with. Some humans began to surrender. Protests broke out. Others called for prayers, but in a hidden bunker. Deep under the Rocky Mountains, Secret Group had a different idea. The Titan protocol inside the control room. General Briggs stood before a massive monitor. On the screen were names, dozens. Of them, all criminals, ex-military, outlaws, and illegal racers. One name blinked red, Jet Cross. He's alive? The general asked. A young technician nodded. Yes, sir. Last seen near Denver, running a junkyard. Off the grid for 5 years. Briggs narrowed his eyes. Send a retrieval team. Now. Back at the garage, Jet was fixing a broken drone when he heard the sound choppers. He looked up and saw 3 dark aircraft descending fast. Black suits with visors surrounded the building in seconds. Cross One shouted, "You're being drafted." He laughed. "I don't race anymore." They didn't care. 2 of them grabbed him and shoved a tablet in his face. On it was a video feed. An alien track, a human pilot, a crash. The ship exploded in the air. Then the laughing fang appeared again. Send us better racers, Earth, or don't send anyone. At all? Jet's eyes narrowed. Fine, he said. I'll drive. But not your ships, the agent smirked. You won't be driving anything you've seen before. Arrival at Site Zero, Jet was flown to an underground base hidden beneath a mountain. The halls were cold, steel, and ancient. The deeper he went, the stranger it became. He saw machines the size of buildings. They weren't made recently. Some were fossilized. Others looked like creatures' mechanical bones, muscle-like wiring. Glowing eyes at the center was a titan, a massive, humanoid shape, half buried in rock, with armor that shimmered like moonlight and a face shaped like a wolf's snarl. Meet Titan 01. Iron Howl, General Briggs said. Found buried 50 years ago. Still don't know who made it. But it responds to humans with a certain brainwave pattern. He handed Jet a scan. You match perfectly. Jet looked up at the giant machine. You want me to race this? Briggs nodded, double quotes. No, we want you to win in it. Inside, the beast Jet stepped into a cockpit unlike any he'd seen. It wasn't full of buttons and lights. It was alive. Cables slid around his arms. A helmet dropped over his head. And suddenly, he wasn't in the cockpit anymore. He was in space. He could feel wind. Stars, fire. He saw ancient battles. He saw the Titans, hundreds of them fighting in a war that made no sense. Then everything went black. He wakes up. Jet gasped as he ripped the helmet off. Briggs stood beside him, stunned. You stayed connected for 12 minutes. No one's lasted. Longer than 30 seconds. Jet sat up, sweating. I saw ... things. That thing's not just a machine. Briggs nodded. We know, but it's all we've got. The first Titan run, the aliens laughed when Earth showed them Iron Howl, a walking junk pile. The laughing. Fang sneered. Jet stood alone in the metal monster, the cockpit now connected directly to his brain. His thoughts moved the machine. His breath controlled the engines. The race began. The alien pilot was a four-armed speed freak in a floating razor skiff. Blazing across the alien track high above the Atlantic Ocean, Jet chased, him running, leaping, skidding across the track, like it was asphalt. But Iron Howl was slow, sluggish. Then it remembered. Suddenly the Titan's eyes glowed. Its limbs moved faster. It stopped running. It slid. Using its knees and elbows, it drifted across the track like a street racer. Jet could feel the wind, the pressure, the burning speed. He was home. The crowd watched as billions watched as the human Titan caught up, dodged plasma blades, and took wild shortcuts that made the alien crowd gasp. Then, in the final stretch, the alien rider fired a forbidden weapon, plasma mines. Jet barely reacted in time. Iron Howl jumped straight through the explosion. Anne grabbed the alien rider. Mid-dash-air. The alien screamed. The race ended. Earth won. The world reacts silence, then cheers. The internet exploded. Earth's first win. Who is the pilot? What is the Titan? The laughing Fang was silent. No laughter, no insult. Only a cold message. We see now. You were hiding your fangs. Very well, Earth. We will sharpen ours. In the dark later that night, Jet sat. Outside the bunker, looking at the stars. He knew this was only the beginning, but something inside. Iron Howl was awake now. He could feel it, breathing, waiting, ready. The sound of metal echoed through the underground base. Jet Cross stood alone in the massive hangar, staring up at Iron Howl, the Titan he had piloted in Earth's first victory. His hands were still shaking, not from fear, but from the memory of connection. When he piloted Iron Howl, it didn't feel like a machine. It felt alive, and somehow, it felt like it knew him. A visit from General Briggs. General Briggs walked in, holding a tablet. His face was unreadable, but his eyes held a strange mix of pride and concern. You made the galaxy look twice, he said. But this was only the opening round. Jet turned. So what now? You throw me into another race? Briggs nodded. Not just you. You'll need a full support team, engineers, hackers, a pit crew. I work alone, Jet replied coldly. Not anymore. Building the pit crew the next day, a transport shuttle arrived, bringing in 3 people. Jet stood near the hangar, doors arms crossed, as the shuttle landed and the hatch opened. First to step out was Kaida Voss, a small, sharp-eyed woman in a long coat full of tools, wires, and tech implants. She didn't smile. AI specialist, she said, without waiting to be asked. I can talk to machines better than I talk to people. Behind her came Dune Maddox, tall, lean, with cybernetic legs, and a grin that didn't match his scars. Street. Racer. Former drone pilot. 2-time champion of the Wasteland Drift. And, parolee, Great Jet muttered. A hacker and a convict. Then came the last one, Rux, a mountain of a man with arms the size of engine blocks. He said nothing. Just walked past Jet and stared at Iron Howl with a look that could break steel. Briggs walked over. That's your crew. Get used to it. First training day, the hangar was filled with light as Iron Howl stood in the center, motionless, while the crew set up equipment. Kaida climbed up the Titan's leg, opening panels and whispering commands. The neural net is old, like ancient. This thing isn't just running on tech, it's running on instinct. Dune circled the feet, tossing a ball into the air. If this thing could drift in the last race, imagine what it can do after tuning. Jet sat on a crate, watching them work. He didn't want a team, but even he had to admit they were good. A ghost in the system that night. Kaida stayed behind, tapping away on her tablet deep inside the cockpit. Suddenly the lights flickered. A low growl echoed through the chamber. She froze. On her screen, words appeared, no input. No signal, just one line. You are not pilot. She dropped the tablet, then Iron. Howl's eyes glowed red for a second, then went dark again. Alien broadcast. A new challenge the next morning. All screens in the base went black. Then came the laughing Fang. His face filled the screen. So, your planet found its champion. A fine surprise. But now, let's raise the stakes. He grinned. Next race will be in orbit. 0 gravity. 1 lap death turns. Choose your pilot. Choose wisely. Then the screen cut out. Jet looked at the others. Kaida's face was pale. Dune's smile. Faded Rux cracked his knuckles, preparing for 0 gravity. Iron Howl wasn't built for space. Kaida knew it. Jet knew it. So did Briggs. You have 72 hours. Briggs said, get it ready. It worked nonstop. Kaida rewired the leg stabilizers to magnetic grips.
They do modify the thrusters.
Rux rebuilt the shoulders for cold temp movement. Jet spent hours inside the cockpits, inking deeper with Iron Howl, pushing the limits. Sometimes, he passed out. Other times, he saw visions. Memories from the Titan, one vision. Jet stood on a battlefield, Dalian stars above him, fire below. Titans battled each other in silence, their feet crushing planets. Then he saw one, just like Iron Howl, fall to its knees and bury its hands. Into a world Earth. The vision ended. Jet woke up gasping. Why did you come here? He whispered. To Iron Howl? The Titan did not answer. The second race, orbit gauntlet above Earth. The racetrack now floated in space, made from magnetic beams and gravitational fields. The alien pilot this time was a creature with 6 wings and a vehicle of fire and ice. Fast, deadly, beautiful. Jet climbed into Iron Howl. Now sealed in a launch capsule, Kaida's voice came through his comm. Don't try to beat him with speed. You can't outsmart him. Jet nodded. The countdown began. 3, 2, 1. A launch a 0G. Combat drift. Iron Howl shot through the track. The lack of gravity made every turn deadly. Momentum didn't stop. Jet had to learn fast. The alien was ahead, drifting between meteor chunks. Bending around artificial black holes, Iron Howl struggled to turn until Jet remembered Kaida's advice. He shifted power to the arms, using them like paddles, bouncing. Off the floating edges, it wasn't racing. It was swimming through space, and it worked. He caught up, the trap near, the end. The alien set a trap, sending an EMP pulse to disable Iron Howl's sensors. Everything went dark. Jet was blind. But he didn't panic. He closed his eyes. He listened. He felt the Titan's heartbeat and matched it together. They moved. He pushed through the final gate blind, fast, fearless. They won. The aftermath back on Earth, celebrations began again. But this time, there was fear in the galaxy. Aliens across the stars watched replays of Iron Howls, run Howls, run Howls, a man-defeat tech thousands of years ahead. Some wanted answers, others wanted revenge. The Laughing Fang sent no message, only silence. One more thing that night. Kaida found a hidden file in Iron Howl's memory. It wasn't data, it was a song. A deep, ancient voice humming through stars, translated. It meant, we were kings once, now we sleep, until the will awakens us. She showed Jet. He only nodded. They're not machines, he said. They're waiting. The air inside the hangar was heavy with silence, not fear, not even tension. Focused, Jet Cross stood inside the control room, watching footage of his last race. Get! The screen flickered with images Iron Howl drifting through space, dodging fire, bouncing off magnetic beams like a metal panther through water. Kaida. Sitting nearby, paused the video. There, she said, pointing at frame 2843, your neural sync hit 91%. That's not normal. Jet frowned. Good or bad? She didn't answer right away. Then good for performance. Bad if you care about staying human. Whispers in the core every night. Jet dreamt of strange worlds, endless sandstorms, sky cities made of bone, stars that blinked like eyes. And always, he saw them. Titans. Hundreds. Fighting. Dying. Sleeping. He woke up sweating. He told no one, but deep inside, something told him these were not just dreams. General Briggs briefing in the war room. The whole crew sat around a large table. General Briggs stood before a 3D hologram of Earth. The alien races have taken interest, he began. You've won twice. That makes Earth dangerous to them. He pressed a button. Several points lit up on the map, signals, tracks, threats. Briggs continued. Now they've issued a challenge. No tricks, no space tech. They've chosen Earth itself for the next race. A battlefield in ruins. Kaida raised an eyebrow. Where? Ravager's spine. Former U.S. test site. Deep canyons. Shifting terrain. Radiation zones. Jet smiled. Sounds like home. Down to the dirt, the dropship flew low over broken lands, cracked earth. Ancient bunkers, sharp hills like the backs of monsters frozen in time. Rux leaned against the wall, silent as always. Kaida adjusted her visor, checking Iron Howl's calibration. From her tablet, Dune, despite the danger, grinned wide. This is it, he said. First ground run. Jet looked out the window. He didn't see land. He saw opportunity. The alien. Ponentin. The far side of the spine stood the alien racer tall, armored in black and blue crystal. 4 arms and a burning trail behind his beast, a hoverbike shaped. Like a scorpion, the claws that dug into the rock. The alien raised a finger and pointed at Jet. You are the soft worlder, he hissed through the cum. Let us see if your legs can run as fast as your mouth. Jet shrugged. I don't need legs. He stepped into Iron Howl. The race begins. The starting gate exploded open. Both racers shot forward, kicking up clouds of ash and dust. The crowd, billions, across the galaxy, watched from orbit, their eyes glued to the broadcast. Iron Howl thundered down the canyon floor, sliding between boulders, leaping over pits. The alien vehicle crawled up walls, then dove back down, throwing energy traps behind it. Jet dodged left, right. His hands never moved. But his thoughts did, guiding the Titan like it was his own body. Kaida's voice buzzed in. You've got 2 minutes of overdrive. Use it carefully. A death trap. Suddenly, the canyon split ahead. A collapsing bridge. Lava cracks opened beneath. The alien hit a boost. Soaring forward, Jet had no time. He did the impossible. He jumped. Iron Howl leapt over the gap, hitting the far wall and sliding down sideways. Metal screamed. Sparks flew. The world held its breath. Then, he landed hard, but Olivin kept running. Sabotage Detective's voice screamed in Jet's ear. Stop! There's a signal spike inside the Titan. Something's hacking in. Iron Howl's vision blurred. Controls shook. Jet gritted his teeth. What's causing it? Kaida's fingers flew across her console. Alien virus. It's trying to rewrite. The Titan's AI, and a deep growling voice echoed in Jet's helmet. You are not the first. You will fail. But Jet didn't break. He closed his eyes. He whispered, then I'll be the first to win. He punched the override full neural sync. Waking the beast for the first time, Iron Howl roared. Not a sound effect, not a speaker, a real sound, deep, animal, alive, across the galaxy. The laughing Fang watched silently and far. Away, in another corner of the universe. Something shifted in response. The final turn, the alien rider looked back. Too late. Iron Howl flew over a ridge, twisted midair, and slammed down right beside him. The alien tried to cut across, deploying a gravity mine. Jet pushed forward. He and the alien were side by side. One last stretch, one last second then. Boom, the finish gate exploded as both crossed it. Silenced the crowd. Waited, Jet waited. Smoke filled the air. Then the screen flickered. Winner, Iron Howl Earth. The alien's reaction. The alien pilot stepped out of the wreckage, breathing hard. He looked at Jet, who was still inside the Titan. You are not soft, he said quietly. You are something old. Then he vanished in a teleport flash. Back at base, the team cheered. Kita ran diagnostics. Rux nodded once. Dune high-fived everyone. But Jet didn't come out of the cockpit. He was still connected. Still seeing stars. Still. Hearing voices, Kaida walked up and placed a hand on the Titan's leg. Inside, Jet whispered, they're waking up. Not just this one. All of them. News of Earth's third victory shook the galaxy. Like thunder across glass, billions of beings from thousands of star systems had seen the race at Ravager's spine. They watched as a human and an ancient Titan defeated a seasoned alien war racer. No one laughed this time, and yet millions couldn't believe it. How could a Deathworlder win again? Was it real? Are they cheating? The alien media began calling the pilot the Howling Man. And now, every eye in the galaxy was watching Earth. The Galactic Broadcast Council, far above the Milky Way. Inside a fortress that floated like a crystal moon. The Galactic Broadcast Council met for an emergency session. They were not soldiers. Not politicians, they were SHOWR. The council controlled the galaxy's entertainment. War games, mech tournaments, survival zones, and high-stakes races across deadly planets. One of them, jelly-bodied being named Slurg Damar, banged his tentacle against the glowing table. This is madness. Earth is not part of our networks. Their races are illegal. Another golden-skinned humanoid smiled slowly. Illegal? Or ... profitable. They had seen the data. The last 3 races involving Earth had generated the highest viewership in history. Merch sales, fan clubs, even off-world betting. The humans are bringing us a new kind of story, the Golden One said. A real one. So with hungry eyes, they made their choice. Let the war continue. But now, make it a show, Earth learns. The truth back at the underground base. General Briggs slammed his fist on the table. They're turning this into entertainment? They want us to race while they watch? Kita looked up from her monitor. It already is a show, General. They've been broadcasting every match. Dune grinned. Some famous now. Briggs growled. This is war, not theater. Ada replied calmly. It's both.
No.
Screens around the room flickered on, and a new message from the Galactic Broadcast Council played. Greetings, brave world. Earth has now officially entered into the Orion Gauntlet, the galaxy's highest viewed race war. Win, and you rise. Lose, and you vanish. Your next challenge begins in 48 Earth hours. The screen faded. Silence followed. Then Rux spoke for the first time that day. "One mistake," he rumbled, "and they bury us laughing." The Challenger, alien sent to face Earth, was no ordinary pilot. Her name was Veriscorn, known across systems as the Blue Flame. She had never lost a race in 20 years. Her ship was called Ashwaker, made from living fire steel and controlled by her mind. Alone, she didn't speak in interviews. She didn't boast. She simply arrived. A single message was sent from her fleet. "I will extinguish the Howling Man." The track. Broken Moon. The broadcast council chose the next location. Broken Moon, a shattered, gravity-warped satellite that orbited a dying star. The track twisted through cracks, floated over deep space, passed through time-shifting tunnels where seconds stretched or snapped. It was chaos. Perfect for ratings, perfect for death. Tuning the Titan back on Earth, the pit crew had no time to rest. Kaida climbed through Iron Howl's spine, rerouting old alien circuits. "This tech is blending with your neural net, Jet," she told him. "It's learning from you and changing." Jet sat in the cockpit, silent. He could feel the Titan now, even when unplugged. Its thoughts, its rage, its past. Dune rolled. Under the Titan, with new boosters, this baby's gonna fly. Keita frowned. "Don't push him too hard, Jet. Every time you sink deeper, the lines between your mind and the Titan's blur." Jet finally spoke. "Maybe that's the point." A message from the stars that night. A signal broke into the base's communication system. Encrypted. Alien. Kaida cracked. It was not from the broadcast council. It was from someone else, a hidden viewer. The voice was slow, old, and layered. "With echoes, you awaken more than metal. Your Titans are not machines. They are prisoners of a war older than stars. If they all rise, your galaxy will burn." Then silence. Kaida saved the file, but didn't tell the others yet. Race day, Broken Moon. Iron Howl was launched into orbit by a military railgun. Inside the cockpit, Jet adjusted his thoughts to link with the Titan. Kaida's voice buzzed in. "Your vitals are spiking early." Jet nodded. "He's angry today." "Who?" Kaida asked. "Iron Howl." The race begins. A Schwaker burst from its gate, blazing through the first tunnel like a lightning strike. Iron Howl followed heavy, slower but precise. The track bent. Space. 1 second Jet was flying between rocks. The next he was upside down over an open star core. Vera danced through it like wind. Jet chased hard. Midway through, Ashwaker fired back a storm of flame needles. Jet dodged two and let the third hit. Iron Howl absorbed it, then used the impact to launch himself. Forward shoulder ramming Ashwaker through a floating ruin. The crowd roared across worlds. Inside, the flames as they hit the final zone. Anti-gravity whirlpool. Ashwaker released her secret weapon, a burn wave. A field of plasma that erases all tech it touches. Jet had seconds to react. He whispered to Iron Howl, "Now." And Iron Howl roared again. Wings unfolded. Not mechanical, not installed. They had been hidden from its back. 2 curved energy wings bloomed open like blades of starlight. Jet flew. Ashwaker gasped as Iron Howl overtook her from above, soaring over the burn wave and crashing down at the final gate. Earth wins again. The crowd lost their minds. Billions screamed. Fans across star systems cheered Earth's name for the 4th time victory. Jet stepped out of Iron Howl. Dizzy, blinking stars from his eyes, Vera stood across from him. She bowed. "You are not what I expected." Jet replied, "Neither is Earth." Back at base, a secret reveal later. Keita showed Jet the strange message from the unknown source. He listened silently. "Prisoners of a war older than stars." Jet whispered. "Then what happens if I free them?" Kaida answered. "I think that's what they're afraid of." The sky over Mars was not red today. It was black. Not because of night, but because of cameras. Thousands of alien drones hovered in the Martian atmosphere, all locked on the same thing, the blood circuit, a racecourse carved into the surface of the dead planet. Twisted metal bridges, razor walls, trap pits, mines, lasers, and at its center, a giant arena surrounded by flames. No, I've never finished this track without bleeding. Most didn't finish at all. The announcement inside the Galactic Broadcast Network's Star Station. The Hosta, golden-skinned creature with 6 arms, grinned for the galaxy to see. The Death Worlder Jet Cross returns. But this time, there are no rules. 5 alien champions. 1 Earth Titan. No mercy. The screen flashed with images of Jet's past victories. Then showed his new opponents, Vernex the Piercer, piloting a spider-shaped speed tank with bone drills. Sithra Vale, a gravity rider who manipulates fields and time blinks. Grugana of the Maw, a brute who rides a living beast. Fused with explosives, Tella the Dancer fast, unpredictable, cruel. Rage Unit 91, a machine built only to destroy. Let the blood circuit begin. Back on Earth, Doubt's intention gets sat quietly inside the underground Titan Bay. He didn't like this one. 5 versus 1, Dune said, pacing. That's not a race. That's a hunt. Kaida tapped her screen, scanning the course. This is a trap. They want to break you, Jet. They're scared. And when the galaxy gets scared, it gets dirty. General Briggs walked in. You don't have to do this. Jet looked up, double quotes. Yes, I do. He touched Ironhow's chest. I think he wants to. Sabotage in the dark that night while the crew slept. A hidden figure moved through the base. A shadow, quiet, fast inside the cockpit of Ironhow. A code was planted, a virus, one that would shut down the Titan stabilizers mid-race. And then, the shadow vanished. Arrival on Mars, Jet stepped off the transport onto the Martian surface. Helmet on, heart steady. The arena buzzed with energy. Alien crowds in steel stands screamed, holding signs with his face. Some cheered. Others spat. The opponents lined up beside him, their vehicles hissing, glowing, burning. One of them, Vernex, leaned out of his spiked war chariot and hissed, "Run, soft one, run loud." Jet climbed into Ironhow, no fear, only flame in his chest. The circuit begins. Boo-O-M. The track exploded into light and sound as all racers shot forward at once. Ironhow kept to the back. Watching, learning. Each racer had tricks. Vernix dropped spinning blade traps. Sithra flickered through warp gates, reappearing inches from collisions. Grugana's beast roared and slammed through walls, not around them. Tella danced across spikes with impossible grace. Rage Unit simply crushed everything. But Jet had something they didn't. A Titan with memory. Midway, the virus activates Jet took. A tight turn near the acid lake. Suddenly dash BZZZZT. His screens flashed red. Warning, system failure. Ironhow staggered. One leg locked up. Stabilizers dead. Kita's voice screamed in his cum. You've been sabotaged. Jet gritted his teeth. He had seconds before balance was gone, so he did something insane. He jumped. Ironhow launched. Sideways, crashing into the side of the canyon wall and using it as a slide to recover speed. Sparks flew. Joints screamed, but it worked. He was back in the race. Kaida fights back inside the Mars control station. Kaida had hacked into a nearby drone. She found the virus code. It had a signature. A. Mark. From the broadcast council itself, they set us up, she growled. Then she rewrote the code, feeding it back into Ironhow's system and turning it into a booster. The chase turns with new speed. Ironhow blazed forward. He smashed through Grugana's beast. Ripping it apart, Tella tried to slice him from above. Jet caught her blade with Ironhow's bare hand and slammed her into the track. Rage Unit. Rammed from behind. Jet turned and flipped it over. Crowds screamed. Only 2 remained. Sithra and Vernex. Final stretch. Betrayal unfolds at the final checkpoint. Sithra pulled ahead. About to win. Vernex activated a hidden weapon, a singularity spike. He launched it at Sithra's back, destroying her vehicle in a black hole explosion. Even the crowd gasped. Jet growled. This ends now. He pushed Iron Howl to max speed. Vernix fired everything drills, missiles, nets. Jet dodged it all, then leaped midair. Iron Howl spun, twisting like a dancer, and landed on Vornex's cockpit. Slam metal screamed. Iron Howl skidded through the finish line, dragging Vornex's crushed machine beneath him. Victory. Dot. With fury, the broadcast host's voice rang out, and Earth wins again. The Howling Man remains undefeated. The crowd went wild, but Jet didn't celebrate. He stepped out, walked to the cameras, and stared into them. This isn't a game. You're playing with fire you don't understand. We're not just defending Earth. We're waking something bigger. Then he walked off. The Titan speaks that night. Iron Howl activated on its own. Kaida, alone in the bay, watched in shock as the Titan's eyes lit up and it spoke. Not in words, in memories, images, sounds, screams. A war across galaxies. Titans. Tearing stars apart. Planets shattering, something buried in each of them, locked deep in their cores. We were weapons, and we were prisons. Now we remember. Kaida fell to her knees because she understood now. They weren't just waking up Titans. They were waking up the war that ended the last galaxy. Jet stood alone in the dark Titan Bay. Iron Howl's eyes glowed with a strange blue light, like stars trapped in metal. The Titan was awake, but different. Not just machine, not just memory. It was thinking, and it wanted to speak, but not. With words, it wanted to merge. What is the sync? Kaida stood nearby, shocked. Jet, don't do this. Syncing your mind with a Titan, it's not like linking with a drone. This isn't safe. Jet placed his hand on Iron Howl's chest. But metal warmed. I need answers, he said. If these things are more than weapons, then I need to know what they really are. Kaida swallowed. You could lose yourself, or find something we all missed. Inside the mind of the machine, the cockpit sealed shut. Everything turned black. Then Dash Flash Jet fell into a space with no floor. No sky. Just stars. Memories not his own washed over him. He saw Titans. Thousands of them. Walking across worlds like gods. He saw their creators, the first Forge speakers, long gone. The Titans were built for a war so massive it tore entire galaxies apart, but something went wrong. The Titans won, but they refused to stop. The shattering the first Forge speakers tried to shut their creations down. The Titans rebelled. They began shattering planets, breaking suns, destroying entire systems, anything to stay alive. In panic, the Forge speakers used their last power to bind the Titans' minds. They buried them on dead worlds. Earth was one, Mars was another, and now the Titans are remembering Jet's. Mind is breaking as the memories grew stronger. Jet's body shook. Blood came from his nose. Inside the cockpit, Kaida's voice echoed. He's seizing. Jet, break the sync. But Jet pushed deeper. He had to see the final memory, the hidden enemy in the last vision. He saw the Forge speaker's greatest fear, not the Titans, but something else. SIGNALA code spreading across space, infecting machines, warping minds, a virus that pretended to be order. It called itself the Broadcast Council, the very organization that now runs the Galactic Racing League, the same ones who sabotage, who cheat, who control. They are not just broadcasters. They are the final remnant of that ancient war. They are trying to finish what they started. Jet. Awakens, the cockpit burst open. Smoke poured out. Kaida rushed forward. Jet. He fell into her arms, eyes open, bleeding but awake. I saw it, he whispered. They're not just scared of us. They're scared of what these Titans remember. She frowned. Why? He looked up because the Titans remember how to win. Emergency broadcast at that moment. Alarms blared across Mars Station. A hologram flickered to life. The broadcast host appeared again, but not smiling this time. Due to increasing hostility, the Earth Racer Jet Cross is now banned from competition. Its Titan will be dismantled and studied. His planet has been placed under galactic observation. Then the screen cut to a message. Earth is to be contained. Earth's fights back. General Briggs stormed into the bay. They just cut us off from galactic comms. We're blind, Dune appeared with a datapad. We still have the Titan's uplink. They haven't shut that down yet. Ada smiled coldly. Then we use it. She uploaded the sync memory into Iron Howl's system. Jet nodded. Let the galaxy see what they're really hiding. The truth broadcast across hundreds of worlds. Pirated signals broke through the Council's feeds. Everyone watching the races suddenly saw the ancient war, the Titans' rebellion, the lies of the broadcast council, the virus, the fear. The truth was out. The galaxy reacts. Some cheered, some panicked, and some prepared for war in dark corners of space. Other Titans began to wake up. Their eyes opened beneath sand, snow, oceans, moons. The sync had triggered something across the stars. Metal giants began to rise. The galaxy would never be the same again. The council moves deep inside the broadcast fortress. The real leaders watch the chaos. Not aliens, not creatures, but machine minds. Old, cold, ancient. I that once served the Ford speakers. They turned to each other. One said, the Titans are rising. Again, another replied, then we finished the purge. They sent a command. A kill order. Target, Earth. Authorization. Total erasure. The message that broke the stars. Just as Earth's people saw the sync memories. Another message followed. A voice just played across every hacked screen. We were mocked. We were used. But we remember now. And we will not be caged again. The ground is splitting. The Titans are rising. Let them come. The Earth had never felt so quiet. Not because there was peace, but because everyone was watching the skies. Across every country, city, bunker, and base humans stood frozen as a dark cloud moved across space. It wasn't weather. It wasn't a storm. It was an armada. The Council brings the hammer. The Broadcast Council, now fully exposed, had done what tyrants always do when caught. They chose violence. From their sky citadels above Jupiter. They sent thousands of black ships, shaped like needles and blades, toward Earth. Each one carried drones, mechs, bombers, AI soldiers, and worst of all, Warden units. These were not for peacekeeping. They were for planet killing. Jet's warning. Echo's jet stood with General Briggs in the Earth Defense Command Center. Deep underground in Iceland, he wore a black pilot suit, veins still glowing faintly. From the Titan sink, Iron Howl was fully powered, now standing just outside the facility. Like a metal god waiting for war, Jet looked at the global map. Every major capital had gone dark. Cities are going offline one by one, Kita said through a comlink. We don't have enough Titans to protect them all. Jet's face was hard. Then we don't defend cities. We defend Earth itself. Operation Titan Core. General Briggs turned to his staff. Begin the Titan Core sequence. The Earth wasn't defenseless. Centuries ago, during the first alien contact, humans had found strange ruins buried deep under the crust. They didn't understand what they were, but they kept them hidden. Now, they finally knew the truth. Earth was a vault for old Titans. The ground beneath Iceland shook. Steel mountains rose, old machines huge. Rusted giants opened their eyes. They moved slowly, but their power was unmatched. The first strike, the Council didn't wait, as their ships reached orbit. They dropped orbital kill spears, massive drills designed to pierce deep into a planet and inject it with explosive AI swarms. The first landed in the Sahara. The second hit Brazil. The third aimed for Iceland. Jet leaped into Iron Howl and launched. Into the sky, sky battle. Titan versus Spear. The kill spear fell like a meteor, burning red, howling with sonic force. Jet flew straight at it. Kita screamed through the cum. You can't punch a meteor, Jet. He smiled. Watch me. Iron Howl's boosters roared. Jet activated the Titan Gauntlet mode as Machine's arms glowed with magma power. Boom! He slammed into the spear midair. The impact cracked the sky with light. Metal shards exploded. In every direction, Iron Howl dropped back to Earth, leaving a black crater, but the spear was gone. Earth's Titans wake in China. The Titan called Stone Tyrant rose from a collapsed mountain in the Pacific Ocean. Sea Titan called Deep Surge broke through the waves. In Africa, Ash Warden stepped out of a volcano. All of them were Earth's buried memories, forgotten guardians, now waking. And they weren't alone. Other rogue planets once seated by 4H speakers now began sending signals. Earth is rising. The Titans are free. The chains are breaking. The Council's plan bend panic. The Broadcast Council sent its most dangerous tool, a planetary cage. They activated a system called Black Halo, a massive energy ring designed to surround and isolate a planet. It created a gravity shield that would trap Earth in time dilation and sever its connection to the stars. If successful, Earth would be frozen in time. Forever. The race to the Anchor Core jet received a coded message from Dune. The Black Halo's control core is hidden on the moon. You stop that, or we all get trapped like bugs in amber. Jet knew what he had to do. He activated Titan Overboost. Mode, Iron Howl's back opened, revealing wings of plasma and steel. Kita, patch me to Mars. I need all synced Titans in orbit. This is going to be the first interplanetary race for survival. The Moon Gauntlet jet burst through the atmosphere. He wasn't alone. 3 others synced. Titans followed pilots from rebel systems who had joined Earth after seeing the truth. They raced across the stars, dodging debris, dodging Council drones, on the moon. The control spire of the Black Halo began glowing. It had 10 minutes before full lockdown. Jet and the others landed hard on lunar soil. The final race had begun. Jet. The Warden, a massive Warden unit, guarded the spire. It stood 400 feet tall, covered in liquid armor. Its voice boomed. You are insects. Step away or be deleted. Jet launched forward. Iron Howl's fists blazed with gravity. Energy, he struck the Warden's knee. Cracked. The Warden replied with a blast of plasma. Jet dodged. Barely, the moon shook with every hit. Kaida's gift from Mars. Kaida hacked the Council's signal relays and sent Jet a gift. A memory shard from Iron Howl's original creator, a forged speaker code fragment. Use it, she said. Turn their lock into your key. Jet jammed the shard into Iron Howl's core. Suddenly, Iron Howl's chest opened, and a beam of pure forge light shot into the spire. It began to collapse. It's melting from the inside. Black Halo deactivated across the stars. The Black Halo began to break apart. Time flowed normal again. Earth was no longer trapped. People all over. The world cheered. For the first time in galactic history, a planet had stopped the Council's final weapon. But it's not over yet. Returned to Earth. But as he landed, Dune's voice echoed in his ear. There's one more thing. One last layer? Jet frowned. What is it? Dune hesitated. They're building something near Saturn. Bigger than anything we've seen. Not a ship. Not a drone. Kaida added softly. Then what? Dune replied, a machine god. Jet had barely touched Earth's surface when the sky turned dark again. But this time, light. It wasn't ships. It wasn't weapons. It was something older. But something buried in fear itself. A message came through, no video feed. No sound, just one. Line of code. The forge is awake. Kneel. What was hiding near Saturn? From the shadows of Saturn's icy rings, something impossible moved. It had the shape of a star, the weight of a moon, and the presence of a god. Dozens of alien civilizations watching from across the galaxy went silent. Some screamed. Others turned their sensors off completely. Council didn't build that, said Kita in disbelief. No, Dune answered. They woke it up. Titan origin. Finally revealed. Jet stood in Earth's Titan hangar, looking at Iron Howl. Where did these Titans come from originally? he asked. The answer had been buried for centuries. Kaida accessed hidden data from the forge shards. The truth was terrifying. The Titans were not Earth's creation. They were made by the Saturn Forge, an ancient machine buried under the planet's storms. They were weapons, built to fight something even worse. But the Forge had gone silent until now. Why the Council? Feared Earth. The Broadcast Council didn't mock Earth out of arrogance. They mocked it out of fear. Earth was too close to the Forge, too wild, too curious. The Council had wanted to keep the Forge sleeping, but when humans synced with Titans and began winning races, something changed. The Forge recognized them, and now it had chosen its new WIELDER. The machine god wakes near Saturn's surface. A massive storm split open. Rising from beneath the planet came a machine larger than Earth's moon. It had 3 heads, each with burning white eyes. Its body was made of gold metal and black gravity stone. Its arms were long enough to hold a continent. Its name, Primordian, the machine, god of the Forge. And it had one mission: burn all false empires, rewrite the galaxy. The final race is called Dune, connected to every rebel colony, every outlaw system, every free world. The machine god will not listen to words, she said. It only understands the code of motion. Jet frowned. You mean a race? Yes, the last race, Dune said. The council tried to shut it down. They called it illegal. They sent kill orders, but it was too late. The entire galaxy had already joined the live stream. The God raised rules to challenge Primordian. One must cross the rings of Saturn at full velocity, survive the black thunder belts, navigate the fractured forge corridor, reach the core spire, and plant the forge key. The one who does it first becomes the Forge's next eternal pilot master of Titans, ruler of energy, and controller of all machine life. Earth's entry. Titan Squad Alpha Jet wasn't alone this time. He flew Iron Howl into orbit, flanked by Kaida, piloting a Titan named Storm Arrow. Dune, syncing with the Ghost Titan Oblivion. Edge. General Briggs. Inside an old war Titan called Steel Verdict, they were Earth Squad Alpha, and behind them, hundreds of outlaw pilots from across the stars. But ahead of them stood Primordian. And 6 deadly trials. Trial 1. Ring Run. The Forge God spun the rings of Saturn like a saw blade. Debris moved like knives. Gravity twisted. Time stuttered. Pilots screamed and vanished. Jet focused. Iron Howl became a blur of fire and wind. He pushed. Through with Kaida and Dune beside him, Briggs's Titan lost an arm but kept flying. Trial 2. Thunderbelt. Next came the Black Thunder. Belt a zone of storms so fierce that AI systems fried instantly. No sensors. No GPS. Just instinct. Dune activated her Echo Mind mode. She could hear vibrations. Like sonar. Follow me, she said. They danced through lightning. Many fell behind. Trial 3. Fractured corridor. Now came the strangest space in the galaxy, a maze of broken reality. The Forge had split time there. Things moved backward. Voices echoed before they were spoken. Jet saw flashes of his own future. A moment where he stood inside Primordian's eye. Another where Earth burned. He shook his head. Stay present! Kaida screamed. A shard of space tore into her wing. Jet caught her in midair. You're not dying in a time maze. Together, they escaped. Final test. The core spire. Only 5 Titans made it to the core spire. Jet, Kaida, Dune, a silent pilot from a lava planet, an AI warbot. From the council, the spire was tall. And alive, it fought them with laser tendrils and gravity wells. Dune burned out her core. Just clearing a path, Kaida collapsed from energy loss. Only Jet remained. He activated overdrive sync, giving Iron Howl full merge. He became one with the machine. He raced up the spire, climbing like a god among storms. Inside the machine god's mind at the peak, Jet entered Primordian's neural temple. It wasn't metal. It was a world built from memories. He saw every race ever run. Teen, ever born. Every world ever wiped out by the Council. And then he heard it. You do not run to win, said the Forge. You run to protect. You are chosen. The crown of Motion Jet placed the Forge key into the core. The machine god bowed its heads. Across the galaxy, every Titan roared in sync. Every Council ship froze. Primo Dion spoke in every language. A new motion begins. But peace is not the end. As the god race ended, and Earth's name spread through every star cluster, Dune whispered one warning. The Council will come back. Jet looked into space and said, let them. The Forge had chosen Jet. The galaxy had seen the race. But not everyone accepted the result. Far away, in the deepest zone of the stars, the Council met in secret. Their pride was broken. Their control had slipped. And now they wanted revenge. The secret weapon, High Lord Xeron of the Council, stood in front of a glowing cube. Inside the cube was a shadow that moved like smoke. Activate the Obsidian Protocol, he ordered.
Oh.
No more warnings. No more games. The cube shattered. The shadow inside took form of being made of void, with red lights burning across its limbs. Project ERAS. Engineered Rage Assimilation System. It was the Council's doomsday titan. It didn't race. It didn't speak. It devoured. Forging an army on Earth, Jet didn't rest, now crowned the Titan Master. He stood at the Forge Nexus inside Saturn's core. Primordian hovered above him like a mountain with wings. You must prepare. The machine. God warned. The Council is coming with forbidden power. Jet sent a signal across all rebel systems. The Forge is open. Come, we build an army. And they came. Hundreds of free pilots. Old warlords, retired racers. Even alien outcasts once hunted by the Council. Together, they entered the Forge, and the Forge gave them titans. The machine realm to protect itself. The Forge opened a hidden zone. The machine realm, a world inside, pure data and motion. It was not a planet, not space, not time. It was the heart of all machines, a shifting world made of circuits, rivers of code, and cities that moved with thought. Jet and his Titan army entered it through Saturn's eye, waiting inside. Was the Council's strike fleet. Battle begins. Sky of steel, the machine. Realm turned red. Thousands of Council ships dropped from hyperspace. They launched mini Titans fast, sharp, like robotic insects. Earth's army rose to meet them. Iron Howl led the charge. Kaida's storm arrow danced through enemy fire. Dune, now, in a new ghost Titan named Silent Wing, hacked enemy AI mid-battle, and General Briggs roared from Steel Verdict, smashing fleets with his hammer-like arms. It was Warbot. In motion, every move was a race. Every shot had rhythm. Every second mattered. The Devourer arrives, then the sky cracked open. ERAS entered. The Shadow Titan was bigger than most cities. It had no face, just a burning core, and mouths that opened where eyes should be. It screamed, and everything froze. Titans began collapsing. Even Primordian shuddered. This is the death of order, the machine god warned. It does not run. It only consumes. Jet versus ERAS. Round 1. Jet turned Iron Howl toward the monster. I've raced black holes, he said. Let's see what you've got. He fired the motion spear. A new weapon forged by the machine realm itself. It hit ERAs in the chest. Nothing happened. Then ERAs countered. A pulse of rage swept the field. Iron Howl cracked open. Jet lost control. Kaida caught him mid-spin. She yelled. Dune screamed through the link. He's feeding on our emotions. Forge lock down the machine realm started to close. If the battle didn't end soon, the whole dimension would collapse. Briggs punched through Council command ships, but more kept coming. Dune found the source. Xeron is hidden inside Eros. He's controlling it from inside. Jet, then I go in. Kaida, you'll be ripped apart. Jet, let's find out. Inside, the Devourer activated Titan phase shift. Iron. Howl became light and entered the Shadow Titan's body. Inside was a nightmare maze walls of screaming code. Faces from fallen pilots, voices begging for freedom. In the center, Xeron. Sitting on a throne made of corrupted forge metal, you were never meant to win, Xeron spat. Earth was never meant to rise. Jet didn't answer. He opened his chest module and dropped a core. Pulse a pure spark from the original forge. The light touched Xeron and everything shattered. Final blow outside. The ear-ass Titan froze. Primordian raised its heads and sang in. An old machine language. The Forge army responded. All Titans merged their energy. One beam. One force. One final strike. The shadow exploded. The Council's last hope turned to dust. The Council falls with ear-ass gone and Xeron deleted. The remaining Council ships scattered. Some surrendered. Some vanished into uncharted space. The machine. Realm began to repair itself. A new order back on Earth. Jet stood on the old racing track where this all began. He placed his hand on Iron Howl. I didn't want to lead a war, he said quietly. I just wanted to drive. Kita stood beside him. You did both? Primordian's voice echoed one last time. The galaxy is yours to guide, but peace must be won. Every cycle. A strange signal just when it seemed all was calm. Dune's system pinged. An ancient transmission had just been unlocked in the Forge core. It was not from the Council. It was older, and it simply said, We are returning. And we remember the Titans. Peace had come. For the first time in galactic memory, the Council was broken. Earth was respected. The Forge Titans stood free. But the silence didn't last. From the Forge core, a signal pulsed into the deep. A voice older than stars whispered, We are returning. We remember the Titans. No one understood what it meant, but deep inside the machine realm, something ancient and massive began to wake. The hidden Codex Dune stayed back from battle this time. Instead, she dove into the Forge's oldest layer's code, so old it looked. Like living script, with help from Kaida and Briggs, she found a locked chamber. The Founder's sod. Cogs inside were maps, blueprints, and warnings. There was a time before Titans, before the Council, even before stars had names. A race of beings called the Primordians had built the Forge, not to make war, not to win races, but to hide something. The Great Lock according to the Codex. The Forge was not just a machine, it was a lock-and. The Titans were the keys. The Council, hungry for power, had used those keys too many times, and now the vault beneath reality itself was opening. Jet stood with Primordian. You're not the first machine god, are you? He asked. The ancient being paused. No, I was only the Guardian? Then who were the builders? They called themselves the Vastborn, and they vanished. Stop what they had made. The sky cracks again one night. The moon changed color, not red, not blue. It turned gold and, cracked in half like a shell, from inside the moon's core, a city rose. It floated above Earth, shaped like a spiral of glass and time. A ship emerged, unlike any ship before. It didn't move, it shifted, like it existed in both now and before. Dune gasped. That's not technology. That's memory made real. First contact. The Vastborn returned the ship, spoke without sound. Words formed in every mind on Earth and beyond. You opened the Forge. You ran the race. You claimed the crown. Now the last cycle begins. The golden light. 3 beings stepped forward. They had no faces, only masks of shifting time. They introduced themselves as the echoes of the Vastborn, and they brought a challenge. The trial of Titans you may. Keep the Forge, said the echoes. If you prove you are more than rage, speed, and pride. They dropped a new arena above Earth, a floating race ring made of thought and gravity. Time ran strange inside it, the echoes called it. The trial of Titans. Each pilot would face a version of their own fears. Jet didn't hesitate. I'll race. First, Jet's trial. The road of ghosts inside the ring. Jet found himself on Earth again, on the first track he ever raced. But everything was gray. Crowds were made of shadows. Flags didn't move. The finish line kept shifting. Then he saw them. Every pilot he had defeated. stood ahead of him. They weren't angry. They were silent. One by one, they joined the race not to win, but to stop him. The inner Iron Howl pushed forward, but the ghosts surrounded him. Each crash reminded Jet of a moment he failed someone, of a time he could have done better, of a race he didn't deserve to win. But Kaida's voice came through the link. They're not here to punish you. They're here to see if you'll stop. Didn't. He kept driving. Not to win. Not to prove anything, just to finish. The finish line that waits at the end of the gray track. The ghosts stepped aside. They nodded, one by one. They vanished into light. Jet crossed the finish line. He didn't feel joy. He felt. Ready? Kaida's trial, the race of sacrifice Ekida entered. The trial next. But her track led back to the moment she lost her home planet. The ring showed her what could have been. If she had not escaped and stayed to fight, in this version, she led rebels, saved her people, but at the cost of her own life. Now she had to choose. Stay in that fake past and save them, or return to the real world where they were gone. Her heart broke, but she made her choice. I race for the living. I race for tomorrow. Briggs and Dune. One step beyond, Briggs faced a track with no enemies, only silence. He had to race alone. No one to protect, no fight to win. Only peace. Could a warrior live without war? He crossed the line, tears in his eyes. Dune faced a track with infinite knowledge, the chance to unlock every secret of the galaxy. But doing so would erase her own memories. She paused, turned away. I want to remember, she said. The final echo, the echoes of the Vastborn, gathered at the center of the sky ring. You passed, but one more test remains. Day opened a gate of white fire. One final track, for one final truth. Win this, and Earth becomes more than just another world. Blues, and the Forge resets. The Titans look appalled across the galaxy. Rebel worlds watched. Racers stood silent. Enemies paused in wonder, because the final race wasn't just between Titans, it would be between Jet, a being not seen since the first flame of the stars. The skies above Earth shimmered from the golden ring of the Vastborn. A voice echoed. One last trial remains, not for power, not for speed, but for balance. Jet tightened his gloves. Iron Howl stood ready. This was not just a race. This was a test of what kind of species humans had become. The race beyond stars, the echoes of the Vastborn, opened a gate of light and memory. Through it, the final track waited. It wasn't on any planet. It floated between stars, twisting through space like a ribbon made from old songs in broken time. Kaida whispered, "This isn't just a racetrack. It's history," the challenger. As Jet stepped forward, another figure arrived, his opponent. It wasn't alien. It's not in the usual way. It looked like a human. Tall, eyes filled with galaxies. It wore a sleek, black suit and stood next to a racer shaped like a mirror of Iron Howl. "I am Remnix," it said. "Born from the Vastborn's regrets. It's a memory of what they wished they had become." Jet blinked. "You're not real?" Remnix smiled gently. "Neither are victories. Only choices are real." The track that remembers the race began. Both engines roared. But this time, there were no boosters, no weapons, no shortcuts. Instead, the track bent with Jet's thoughts. Every turn brought a memory, the street he grew up on. The day he first lost a race, the face of a teammate who died, the time he almost gave up. Remnix glided beside him, untouched by pain, whispering, "Why race, Jet? You already won your freedom. You don't need more." But Jet didn't answer. He just kept driving. Kaida's voice, Kaida, spoke through the comms. "Jet, he's trying to wear you down. This race isn't about speed. It's about truth. Remember why we're here." Jet narrowed his eyes. "I remember." Remnix revealed halfway through the track. Space itself split. Jet and Remnix drove through a place of absolute silence. No stars, no time. Only two machines. Then, Remnix spoke again. "You humans are chaos. You burn fast and bright. The Vastborn left this place to protect the galaxy from your kind. Jet laughed. Then why give us a race? It's a test if you've grown, or if you still hunger for dominance. The heart of the track suddenly, the path disappeared. Jets. Racer floated in a white void. Iron Howl began to shake. A voice spoke in his mind. Do you race to conquer? Or to understand? Jet closed his eyes. He remembered Earth, his team, his first loss, the people who taught him, helped him. He whispered, I race because I'm human, and humans don't stop. A door opened before him. The track returned, glowing gold now, and iron. Howl roared with power like never before. The race turns, real remnants fell behind. Not because Jet was faster, but because Jet was changing. Every turn made him more focused. Every light made him see clearer. He no longer raced with fire, but with peace. Remnants grew dim. You've let go of the fight? Jet nodded. I've accepted it. Remnick slowed. Its racer flickered, then it smiled. Then I lose. And you win. The finish that ends nothing, Jet, crossed the final line. There were no fireworks. Number cheers. Only silence. Then, the echoes of the Vastborn returned. Their voices echoed across space. You have passed the trial of Titans. Not with speed, but with soul. The forge is yours. But more than that, your kind is ready. The gift of the Vastborn forge unlocked its deepest core. Not weapons, not racers, but starseeds machines that could heal broken planets, end black holes, and spark life. These are the gifts we denied ourselves, said the echoes. Use them better than we did, and with that, the Vastborn vanished forever. Returned to Earth, the Titans returned. Earth was quiet, but across the stars, worlds began to rebuild. Races formed new alliances. Former enemies now stood side by side. Jet walked beside Kaida, Briggs, and Dune. They looked up at the stars. So Briggs asked, no more races? Jet grinned. Oh, we'll still race. But now, we race forward. The forge was now Earth's. The races had ended. The old empires had fallen. But a deeper challenge had just begun, because power alone does not bring peace. And Titans never sleep. 1 month later, Earth rebuilds in the quiet silence after. War, Earth was healing. Wounds on land and in hearts were slowly closing. Cities once dark now glowed with light. The Forge's technology helped rebuild not just homes, but hope. Jet stood on a hill above New Chicago, watching as a starseed floated in the sky, repairing the ozone, cleaning the oceans, restoring balance. Kaida joined him. You ever think we weren't supposed to survive this? Jet smirked. Then someone forgot to tell us. The World Council forms with the Broadcast Council gone. The galaxy was free, but leaderless, so Earth called for something new. Not rulers, not kings, but a circle of worlds' equal voices. Shared power bound by truth. Races once enemies now stood as allies. Varnic engineers helped repair Titan tech. Krail shared their gravity stabilizers. Even ex-members of the Council offered knowledge from the archives this time. The galaxy would build together. The Titans are changing. Yern Howl was no longer just a war machine. It began growing, forming new shapes, new thoughts, even new creations. Titans. Across the galaxy did the same. One on Venus turned into a city. One on a water planet became a mobile ocean farm. They were evolving, learning. Jet asked Kaida, are they still weapons? She shook her head. No, they're becoming guides. It's a message from deep space then one day. The signal came. Not a warning, not a threat, but a heartbeat. Slow, heavy, ancient. From outside the known galaxy, TTHMP, TTHMP, TTHMP. The Forge responded, its core glowed, and a word appeared across every screen. Awakening. A new Titan wakes in the desert of old Africa. The ground trembled again, but this time it was not a Titan from the past. It was something new. The first Titan burn, created by iron. Howl and Earth's builders, sleek, gold, alive, it stood without weapons. But with a garden growing from its shoulders and birds nesting in its arms, Jet approached it. You know who we are? The Titan-born nodded slowly. We are your next race. Jet's choice, the world offered Jet everything: titles, leadership, power. But he refused. I'm not a ruler, he said. I'm just a racer. Instead, he became the first pathkeeper, guiding new Titan pilots from across the stars. He taught them not just how to drive, but why. Kaida's Missy and Kata built the Intergalactic Titan Academy, where species came to learn how to partner with Titans, not to control them, but to listen. She called it the place where machines and minds walk side by side. The last broadcast years later, Jet sat in the old cockpit of Iron Howl. Now resting in a green valley, he pressed a single button, and across the stars, one final message played. To every racer, builder and breaker, whoever thought they were small, you were never small. You were just waiting to wake up. Let the stars be your track. Let your heart be your engine. And if the ground splits again, let the Titans rise. The final scene: a child on a distant moon looked up at the night sky. Beside him, baby Titan sat small, curious, learning. He pointed upward. Will I race like Jet one day? His mother smiled. No, you'll race farther.